Hello, Linux learners. Today we are going to continue our little mini series on permissions and talk a little bit more about them, give you some more details about the particulars of permission levels, and then show you how to change all of those. Okay, so for starters, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, one thing you want to notice is that I'm signed in as gsikkelos, which is a user. Okay, we're going to long list and take a look what's in there. There are three file types in there, or three files. The first one is a directory called bands, and you know that because if you watch my last video, you know that that D on the far left there indicates directory, and the dashes or the hyphens on the two below indicate file. So bands is a directory owned by gsikkelos, the user gsikkelos, and owned by the group gsikkelos. And those that are part of that group, if there were people in there, would have those particular permissions to read, write, and execute. And then file1.txt, you're going to notice has different ownership. It's owned by root. So root created that file. And anybody, only root can access that file. Then last, you have Wu-Tang Clan, which is owned by gsikkelos again. So a couple of things I want to point out is I am not logged in as root, but I can, without sudo, manipulate bands in Wu-Tang Clan because I'm the owner. Now, as I'm logged in as gsikkelos, right here, I cannot manipulate any file that is owned by root unless I sudo. So I'm going to demonstrate what I mean by that. Then I'll go back and talk about all the particulars. Okay, so first thing that I want to demonstrate here is the chmod command. This is how you change permissions. Now, I am not sudoed, I'm not root, I'm just logged in as user gsikkelos, so I can't do anything to the file 1.txt. So we're going to play around with the Wu-Tang Clan file. Okay, so a couple of things. We know that the R stands for read, the W stands for write, the X, which is not present in that file, is execute. Just to kind of further define those, read would be like literally opening the file and just reading it. W would be writing it or editing the file, being able to open the file and change it. Execute would mean to execute it or to actually open it or allow whatever it does to do its job. Okay, so the way you're going to do this, it's kind of intuitive, but there's a syntax you have to follow. Let's say, for example, you want to add executable permissions for the user gsikkelos. Okay, and if you remember what that means, the user is the first. The user is the first segment of permissions. This right here, RW and then a dash. I wanted to say RW and X for execute, right? And it's going to be the user, this person right here. All right, how do I do that? Well, user is U. What I want to do, I want to add. So the add symbol or the plus sign. What do I want to go add? Execute or X. So you can see chmod, which is going to change a permission for the user, adding executable, U plus X, space, and the name of the file you want to affect. Enter. Like I said, if you get no feedback in Linux, it's usually a good sign. Oops. And there it is. You can also notice that it changed color to indicate a change, an executable change. So you can take a look now. We have R, W, and X here. Okay. Now, likewise, to remove a permission, chmod user minus X name. There it is. You'll notice that the X is gone. Okay? All right. Now, let's say that you want to make a change on file 1.txt. I'm going to show you what not to do first. Okay, so let's just try it. Chmod. And let's say I want to add execute privileges on the owner, the user again. So we're going to do user plus X, and we're going to do file1.txt. Watch what happens. Nothing. Can't do it because it's owned by root. So what if we sudo it? Chmod u plus X, file1.txt. Gotta enter my password. Now I changed it. So you can see the power of sudo. It elevates you to root privileges. Okay, now likewise to remove that, and by the way, if you press the up arrow, it is a shortcut for your last commands. So I just up arrow twice to get back to the sudo chmod u plus X file.1 or file1.txt. I'm gonna go back now and just put a subtraction symbol to remove that. And you can see that the permission is gone. Okay. All right, now let's show some other ways to play around with this. Let's say that I want to add or remove, let's say I want to add write privileges to 2 files at once, okay? Well, rather add 2 permissions to a file, okay? So let's do this. Let's sudo chmod, and we're going to look at the file1.txt. Now, I want to add write permissions to group and other. How would I do that? Well, group and other right next to each other, right? Plus W file1.txt, enter, LL. Now you can see that W has been added for the group and others category of permissions. Now, this was a root file, so I had to do sudo. But what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that you can do 2 permissions at once, just like that. And likewise, you can remove with the subtraction symbol. So play around with this in your virtual machine. And next time we get together, I'll show you some more ways to manipulate permissions, and we'll play around a little bit more. There's a lot more to do. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.